Hi guys. Well, we're in for the final stretch. We've only got a couple of weeks to go. You guys are doing amazing. I want to give you a rundown on this incoming week so you know what we're doing. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to be going over here to assignments like you've done in the past. Click on assignments. And then you'll go and you'll find you're going to be doing week 8. So the first assignment will come up Abyssal Creatures. Okay, talking about Abyssal Creatures, we did a little bit with Abyssal Creatures this year, but we're going to be doing some more. These are those strange creatures that live in the deep trenches and crevasses of our planet. You know, it's almost like space, except it's under the sea. It's inner space. And so there's a lot of things that are still, we're looking for things and learning about new life. And there's tiny, tiny things there, and sometimes there's gigantic. So the film I want to share with you, it's not that long, but it's about abyssal, meaning abyss, the creatures of the abyss, giantism, which for some reason they're not sure why, but you're going to watch the video to see what they have to say about it. Some of these organisms are huge, almost 3 to 4 times the size of the shallow water cousins that they relate to. So just going through it, you'll be watching the video. After the video, I'm going to give you a series of questions that I'm going to ask you to answer. If you do this, please make sure you're doing it either on a Word document or the text box entry. If you choose to on this particular assignment and you want to go back and write the question with the answer, that's fine on this one. You can do that. So you'll see, after you watch the video, there are 8 questions. Very simple, to the point. Go through them very, very carefully and just give me the right answers. Okay? At that point, you're going to, I want to talk to you a little bit about Turnitin. Those are some things that have come up this week with Turnitin and Wikipedia. Okay, before I talk to you about Turnitin and Wikipedia, when you go through the questions, you're reading the question, just go through and make sure that you really explain what it is I'm asking you to give me. Okay, so number 1, what land animal has a similar weight to the giant isopod? All right, so you have to look that up, and you're going to be, what I would suggest you do with this video is go through it. You may have to pause it several times. Number 2, isopods can grow up to how many feet? This is a double question, so you give me the footage. You give me how long can they survive without food. Give me that too. 3, crabs that live in shallow water can sometimes actually live in other animals. Explain it. What kind of other animals can they live in? 4, Japanese spider crabs have a reach. How far out can they reach out? What's the footage on that? 5, what is the length and poundage of the colossal squid? How long is it? How much does it weigh? 6, what is the name of the fish that was regarded as a sea monster in early days? There's a specific fish that you won't see it. It doesn't come up to the surface very seldom. If it does come up to the surface, there's a reason why it does. And 7, why do oarfish seldom come to the surface? There's your question. 8, why do deep sea creatures grow so much larger than their shallow water cousins? Just listen to the video and see what they have to say. So back to the Turnitin and the Wikipedia. The majority of your information should come from these videos. So if you have to pause it every so often, do so. Wikipedia really is not a reliable source, so I wouldn't really go in that direction. Steer clear of that. But remember that we're using Turnitin. So remember, if you're writing something, I had several students that did this time around. It's okay to cite something, but remember, it shouldn't be all according to, based on various websites. Some of it has to be your own work. So remember that, because next year when you're in high school and you're doing these FSA writings and whatnot, they're not going to look at that because that's not your work. So you have to be able to just break away a little bit from doing that. Okay, so try to work on that this week. So that's going to be your first assignment. Then what I thought I would do with you on the second assignment, so you'll go back, click assignments, and go back down to the next assignment. So first assignment is Abyssal Creatures, and the next one is week 8, 20 creatures. So on this particular assignment, again, you'll have another video. It's got a funny fish on the front of it. It's called a coffin fish. This is a video that details there's a lot more fish than this, but it's detailing at least 20 nightmarish creatures that live in the ocean's abyss. So what you'll do on this one, either by using a Word document or a text box, you will be watching this video. My suggestion is that you watch it all the way through first, just to familiarize yourself with all of the different creatures. Then at that point, what you're going to do is you're going to go through it carefully, break it down one at a time, make a list. If you want to title the list 20 nightmarish sea creatures or creatures of the abyss, that's fine. And what you'll do is you'll go through number 1, for example. I'm going to scroll down and just show you. So if you're using a Word document or a text box, whatever method you're using, number 1. First one is a flesh-eating crustacean. Crustacean, we talked about those earlier this year. Lobsters and things that have jointed legs and whatnot, and crabs. This happens to be a flesh-eating crustacean. So what you're going to do is you're going to write down what it is, and then next to it, you're going to give me an example of a characteristic. Going back in my class earlier this year, we did a lot of things with characteristics. I do not want you giving me, oh, it's ugly, it's stupid, I don't like it. That's not a property or a characteristic of that species of animal. So you have to be specific. If it has sharp fangs, let me know. These are just some examples right here. Lack of eyes. Some rely entirely on sensory. It's not necessarily vision, but other things. Sharp fangs because some are predatory, and various things like that. So, there are 20 altogether, so you have to make sure you do all 20. And then when you're finished with 1 through 20, so let's back up a minute. You're going to give me, you put a title, you should do that, and then you're going to give me number 1, first one, and the example, a characteristic. Do that with all 20. Then you'll notice number 3, please do not forget to do this one. This is at the bottom of the page. You will choose one of these 20 abyssal sea creatures. You choose one that you like. What you're going to do is you're going to submit this photo of the abyssal sea creature that you choose. And then underneath that picture, you're going to give me a minimum of 5 sentences describing your abyssal sea creature. Okay, again, you may submit this however if you want to do this all on the same page, or if you want to do it separately, whatever works best for you, you can do it like that. But just know that there's going to be the first section where you have to do, where you're watching the video of the abyss. That was part 1. And then the second one is going to be 1 through 20, where you have to write down the word and you have to give me a characteristic. So the third thing on this section would be choosing one of the abyssal creatures. Okay, and again, if you have any questions about any of this work, you guys have been amazing reaching out to me. We're all in this together. We're trying to all make it work. Sometimes I miss things. I'm not perfect. If I if I don't see something and your grade doesn't reflect what maybe you think it should, some of you are really good about letting me know that. Okay, now sometimes I will purposely put in a 0. If I see as I'm going through these and I make a comment to you, usually what I'll do is I'll write the comment and then I'll take a picture of it and send it to you and remind. So you have to be on the ball with your phones, checking to see if any of us are sending you messages. Don't have the excuse, well, I didn't see it. That's not a good enough excuse. I'm doing it. I'm committing to it. You need to also. So, again, if you have any issues, just feel free to contact me. And again, back to what I was saying about the 0, I could put a 0 in deliberately to alert you, to let you know, oh, wow, I got a 0. I don't know why I have a 0, but for some reason, I do, and I guess I need to reach out to Mrs. Mogan and figure out why I have the 0. So, and some of you are really great about it. You do it all the time. So make sure you do that. And again, we're counting down. We got a couple of weeks to go. You can do this. You've been doing it, the majority of you, all along. Just keep it up and have a nice evening.